Friends, we are discussing plant breeding. Right? Yesterday we discussed steps involved in plant breeding, right? Steps involved in plant breeding. Now listen this statement. In India, evaluation. What? Evaluation of new cultivar. Of what? New cultivar is done by. Evaluation of what? New cultivar is done by. Evaluation of new cultivar is done by Indian Council of Agricultural Research. What is this organization name? Indian Council of Agricultural Research. In shortcut, we are calling this organization as a ICAR. Which car? ICAR. Therefore, ICAR stands for what, sir? Indian Council of Agricultural Research. Where this organization is located? New Delhi, sir. Where it is located? New Delhi. In India, right, evaluation of new cultivars is done by ICAR. ICAR is located in New Delhi. Sir, Indian Agricultural Research Institute, IARI, right, it is located in New Delhi. Indian Agricultural Research Institute, Indian Agricultural Research Institute, Indian Council of Agricultural Research, both are located in New Delhi. Right? Now listen here. In many crops, in what? In many crops, pre-existing genetic variability is available. Is available in wild relatives of what? Wild relatives of crops. Is this statement okay? In many crops, pre-existing genetic variability, where it is available in wild relatives of what, sir? Crops. Wild relatives of crops. Is this statement clear? Okay, right. Now listen here. India is mainly agricultural based country, right? India is mainly agricultural based country. India is mainly agricultural based country. Sir, agriculture accounts for 33% of Indian GDP. What? Agriculture accounts for 33% of Indian GDP. What is the full form of GDP? Gross Domestic Product. What is the meaning of GDP? Gross Domestic Product. Therefore, sir, agriculture, it accounts for how much percentage of Indian GDP, sir? 33% of Indian GDP. Okay, 33% of Indian GDP. Sir, agriculture employs agriculture employs 62% of population. What does this statement means? Sir, in Indian population, 62% of people, they are getting employment from agriculture. Therefore, agriculture employs 62% of Indian population. 62% of Indian population. We are saying that India is mainly agricultural based country. Yes or no? But after our independence, after our independence, the main problem, one of the main problem faced by our country is to provide enough food for increasing population. Providing enough food for increasing population was one of the major problem in India after independence. Is this statement okay? Right? Therefore, after India's independence, India's independence, one of the major problem faced was to provide enough food for increasing population. Providing enough food for increasing population, was a major problem, one of the major problem, after India's independence. Now listen this statement. Providing what? Enough food for increasing population. Sir, but area under agriculture, land under cultivation was limited. It means the land which is available for cultivation is less. We cannot further increase the land for cultivation, because how much land we can use for cultivation, already that land is under cultivation. So we cannot increase the land under cultivation. Then what we can do, sir? We have to increase the production per unit area. Sir, how we can increase the production per unit area, sir? By using high yielding varieties. By using which varieties? High yielding varieties. That high yielding varieties are developed by different plant breeding techniques. Is these statements okay? Right? Now listen here. After independence, one of the major problem faced by our country is providing enough food for what, sir? Increasing population. As land under cultivation. As land under what, sir? Cultivation is limited. Land under cultivation is limited. What we have to do? As land under cultivation is limited, we have to increase what? Yield per unit area. Is this statement okay? Therefore, what we have to increase? We have to increase the yield per unit area. Is this statement clear? Sir, the land which can be used for cultivation is less. Is it okay? Right. Therefore, what we are doing? In the available land, we have to increase the yield. In the available land, we have to increase the yield. It means have to increase the yield per unit area. How we can increase the yield per unit area, sir? By using what? High yielding varieties. By using what? High yielding varieties. Is this statement okay? Right? Now listen here. In the middle of 1960s, in the middle of 1960s, in the middle of 1960s, right, in the middle of 1960s, right, yield was increased due to high yielding varieties, of rice and wheat. High yielding varieties of rice and wheat developed by various or different plant breeding techniques. Is this statement okay? When, sir, in the middle of 1960s, the yield was increased. We are discussing about India, right? We are discussing about our country, right? In the middle of 1960s, in our country, the yield was increased. Sir, how this yield was increased, sir? Due to high yielding varieties. These high yielding varieties are developed by what, sir? Different plant breeding techniques. Is this statement okay? Right? Therefore, in our country, there was a dramatic increase in food production in the middle of 1960s. This phase is called as Green Revolution. What is this phase called as? A Green Revolution. Right? Therefore, there was a dramatic increase in food production. There was a dramatic increase in what, sir? Food production. In our country. This phase is called, what is this phase called as? A Green Revolution. What is this phase called as? A Green Revolution. Dramatic increase in what? Food production in our country. When in the middle of 1960s is called as what, sir? Green Revolution. Is called as what? Green Revolution. Is these statements okay? Right? Now listen here. Some hybrid Indian crops which are high yielding, Number 1, maize. What it is? Maize. Number 2, wheat. Here I am writing the wheat variety name. Wheat variety. HD 1553. This is a Sonalika. Is it okay? Right. Next, number 3, garden pea. Garden pea. Right. I am writing variety name. P1542. P1542. These are hybrid Indian crops, right, which are high yielding. These are some examples for hybrid Indian crops which are high yielding. These two are important, right? Therefore, you should be careful with these two. Okay, sir, garden pea. What is the botanical name of garden pea? Pisum sativum, right? What is the botanical name of garden pea? Pisum sativum. Sir, garden pea is the experimental material of garden pea is the experimental material of Mendel. It's the experimental material of Mendel. Belongs to which family, sir? Fabaceae family. Belongs to which family, sir? Fabaceae family. Belongs to Fabaceae family. Sir, is a dicot or monocot? Garden pea, Fabaceae, is a dicot. Whereas wheat and maize, these two comes under Poaceae family. These two comes under Poaceae family, Graminae family, Graminaceae family, grass family, monocots. Poaceae family, Graminae family, Graminaceae family, grass family. One and the same. They are dicots or monocots? Monocots. Is it okay? Right? Listen here. Concern to plant breeding, first we are going to discuss about rice and wheat. What and what, sir? Rice and wheat. Rice and first we will discuss about rice and wheat, right? Rice and wheat. During 1960 to 2000, during which period? 1960 to 2000, 1960 to 2000, right? Rice and wheat production. Rice and what, sir? Wheat production. Rice and wheat production was increased. What was increased, sir? Rice and wheat production was increased. Sir, rice production, concern to rice production we are discussing first, right? Rice production increased. Rice production increased from rice production increased from 35 million tons 35 million tons to 35 million tons to what, sir? 89.5 million tons. This is which production? Rice production increased from where to where? 35 million tons to 89.5 million tons, right? This is during when? During 1960 to 2000. Whereas if you go for wheat production, if you go for wheat production increased. Wheat production increased from 11 million tons 11 million tons to right 75 million tons 11 million tons to what, sir? 75 million tons. This is increase in which production? Wheat production during 1960 to 2000. Therefore, during 1960 to 2000, there was increase in the production of what and what, sir? Rice and wheat. Why, sir? This increase in rice and wheat production during 1960s to 2000 is due to development of semi-dwarf rice and wheat varieties. Therefore, during 1960s to 2000, rice and wheat production was increased. Why, sir? Due to semi-dwarf rice and wheat varieties. Therefore, due to semi-dwarf rice and wheat varieties, right, the rice production and wheat production was enhanced, right, during 1962, what, sir? 1962 2000. Is this statements okay? Right? Now, listen here. Due to which varieties? Semi-dwarf rice and wheat varieties, right? Semi-dwarf rice and wheat varieties. Now listen here. First we'll go for wheat. Norman E. Borlaug. What is the scientist name? Norman E. Borlaug. Norman E. Borlaug, right? E. Borlaug, right? He is a father of Green Revolution. Norman E. Borlaug, father of a Green Revolution. Norman E. Borlaug, he is a father of Green Revolution. Father of Green Revolution. Sir, Norman E. Borlaug developed semi-dwarf wheat varieties. Who developed? Norman E. Borlaug. What he developed? Semi-dwarf wheat varieties. Where, sir? Semi-dwarf wheat varieties at an institute by name International Center for Wheat and Maize Improvement. International Center for Wheat and Maize Improvement. Sir, where this organization is located, sir? Mexico. Where this organization is located? Mexico. Therefore, Norman E. Borlaug, right? Norman E. Borlaug, right? He developed semi-dwarf wheat varieties at International Center for Wheat and Maize Improvement, which is located in Mexico, right? In 1963. In 1963, several varieties such as Sonalika, or they are Sonalika, Kalyan Sona. What are the two varieties name? Sonalika and Kalyan Sona were introduced. Right into wheat growing belts of India. Is this statement okay? Right, in which year, sir? 1963. Several varieties such as Sonalika and Kalyan Sona, they were introduced into, right, wheat growing belts of India. It means in India, right, the places where what is grown, sir? Wheat is grown. Into that places, it means in that places which varieties were cultivated, sir? Sonalika and Kalyan Sona. What are the two varieties? Sonalika and Kalyan Sona. Is this statement okay? Right, now listen here. Sonalika and Kalyan Sona, right? Sonalika and Kalyan Sona. Sonalika and Kalyan Sona. These two are semi-dwarf wheat varieties. Semi-dwarf wheat varieties. Semi-dwarf wheat varieties. They are high-yielding varieties. Right? They are disease resistant. They are disease resistant. Therefore, Sonalika and Kalyan Sona, these are semi-dwarf wheat varieties. They are high-yielding wheat varieties, right? They are disease-resistant varieties. They are disease-resistant varieties. This is concerned to what, sir? Wheat. Now, go for rice. Go for rice. Go for rice. Semi-dwarf rice varieties are derived from what? Semi-dwarf what? Rice varieties. Semi-dwarf rice varieties were derived from this statement is important. Derived from number 1 IRH, number 2 Taichung native 1, is it okay? Right? Therefore, sir, what are these two varieties name? IR8, second one is Taichung native 1. What are the first one, sir? IR8. Sir, this IR8 developed. Where it is developed? It is developed right in Erie. Sir, what is the full form of IRRI? International Rice Research Institute. What is the full form of IRRI? International Rice Research Institute. International Rice Research Institute. Sir, where this organization is located? In Philippines. Where this organization is located? It is located in Philippines. Located in Philippines. Is it okay? Right? Sir, IR8 developed in Erie, International Rice Research Institute, which is located in Philippines. Second one is Taichung native 1. Sir, this Taichung native 1 is developed in Taiwan. Developed in Taiwan. Now see this statement carefully. Sir, we are discussing semi-dwarf rice varieties. Yes or no? These semi-dwarf rice varieties, they are derived from number 1 IR8, number 2 Taichung native 1. This IR8 is developed in Erie, International Rice Research Institute, located at Philippines. Second one is Taichung native 1, developed in Taiwan. Wherever you get one organization name, better to note all that organizations at one place. Till now we got number 1 Indian Agricultural Research Institute, New Delhi. Indian Agricultural Research Institute, New Delhi. Number 2 Indian Council of Agricultural Research. Indian Council of Agricultural Research, New Delhi. International Center for Wheat and Maize Improvement, Mexico. International Center for Wheat and Maize Improvement, Mexico. Next one, International Rice Research Institute, Philippines. International Rice Research Institute, Philippines. Therefore, wherever you get one organization name, better to note all that organizations and place where they are located at one place. Is it okay? Right. Now, therefore, semi-dwarf rice varieties were derived from IR8 and what's our Taichung native 1. Is it okay? Right. Now, listen this statement. In 1966, the derivatives, what's our the derivatives were introduced. In 1966. Later Jaya and Ratna. What and what, sir? Jaya and Ratna were developed in India. Sir, what are these Jaya and Ratna, sir? They are semi-dwarf rice varieties. What they are? They are semi-dwarf, which varieties? Rice varieties. Semi-dwarf rice varieties. Jaya and Ratna, they are semi-dwarf rice varieties. Okay, and they are high-yielding rice varieties. High-yielding, what's rice varieties? They are high-yielding rice varieties. Be careful. Sonalika and Kalyan Sona, semi-dwarf wheat varieties. Sonalika, Kalyan Sona, semi-dwarf wheat varieties. High-yielding, disease resistant. High-yielding, disease resistant. Jaya and Ratna, right? High-yielding wheat varieties. Semi-dwarf wheat, high-yielding rice varieties. Sorry, Jaya and Ratna, they are high-yielding rice varieties. Jaya and Ratna, they are high-yielding rice varieties. They are semi-dwarf rice varieties. Semi-dwarf rice varieties. Is this statements okay? Right? This is concerned to rice and wheat. Is it clear? Right.